Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Yin class. Let's begin our class on the mat. Scooch back and in easy pose, crossing our legs. I am Tammy, and our focus is on releasing tight hips and lower back. Raise your hand if you've ever had lower back pain. It's probably most of us. Today, I was a little bit tired today. I'm not sure what I was doing, or I wasn't maybe doing enough of movement. So my lower back was a little bit tight. So it is Monday and beginning of the week. And maybe that's it too. We're starting off and doing things that we haven't done for a while. So sitting still in easy pose. Let's come into our own by relaxing our shoulders. We take a breath in through the nose and exhale through your mouth, releasing adrenaline through the mouth with the exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let it go. One more time, we inhale and exhale. Feeling softness. Starting on our side and then over to our back for the next pose. So just come over to the side and then roll over to your back. We take a moment here with our knees bent, doing a head to toe check. Now those lovely hip flexors, if they are a little bit tighter, could be affecting the back. So they wrap around all the way to the lower back. So taking a moment here with our knees bent. Take one hand onto your chest and one onto your belly. Close your eyes. We focus on our breath. With an inhale breath, you open up through the chest. You open up through your abdomen. And exhale. Inhale, we open up through our chest again, into the rib cage, into our back, into our abdomen. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. You can be exhaling through the nose now. Feeling the rise and fall. The inhale breath, you feel that nice big opening. Exhale, releasing. Opening up your eyes. Taking one knee into the chest and then the other knee into the chest, you may hold on to your legs underneath your knee pits. Feel your pelvis, your hips sink into the ground. So let those legs go, let them go. Maybe go out to the sides a little bit here. Notice if you do feel any kind of pinching into the hip flexors. We do wrap around towards your back. So yes, we're lengthening through the back, but not the front yet, or hip flexor. So you might feel that pinching into the front. Use your exhale breath to help your pelvis melt into the ground, into the earth a little bit more. Feel your body soften a little bit deeper. Coming out of cradle, we take our right foot down to the ground and left foot down to the ground. Take your feet wider than the hips. Windshield wiper, just a gentle windshield wiper, knees going side to side. This little transition movement. Come back to center. Take your foot back in and then the other foot back in. You can walk your feet in a little bit closer. Extend your left leg down to the ground. Take your right knee in towards the chest and hold it underneath of your knee pit. Relax the leg down to the ground. We hold. You may close your eyes. This is wind relieving pose. Lengthening through the front of your left leg. And with the right knee in, stretching out into lower back, into your glute. Now using your breath, inhale breath, helping yourself to open up into any areas of tension. Exhale breath, helping yourself to release, let go. Now the 3 tattvas principles of Yin Yoga are coming in to a pose at the appropriate depth. So that's 1. So taking notice for this pose, it's about a 7 out of a 10 that we hold the stretch, that we hold this pose. The second tattva principle, resolving to remain still. And that was a little bit difficult for me at first. I was used to moving around so much, but being able to be still. So important for our body, our mind, to help us, to give us clarity. And the third tattva, holding the poses for longer periods of time. Holding the poses for longer periods of time is great for helping to release the fascia, the tissue running over our muscles. And with that said, we release our right leg, right foot down to the ground, and then left heel, sliding it back towards your body, and take the left knee in towards the chest, holding onto the underneath the knee pit here, and slide your right heel away so the right leg is straight. Continue to hold. A little compression into our intestines here. And with these openers too, that we're doing into the front of our body here, we're opening into our pelvis, and so you could start to feel or to hear different noises that your intestines are starting to work, digest food. Nice little massage for our organs. It's always good, helping you to work. "45 more seconds." We hold. The last 15 seconds, we slowly come out of the pose. 30 more seconds. Now slowly coming out, slide your right heel back and come back into cradle. Take the knees in towards the chest, hold here. And then take the right foot down, put the left foot down towards the ground. Our next pose is supported bridge. If you have a pillow or a block, placing it underneath of your sacrum. So I can show you first because you don't want to be looking around when you are in bridge, because you don't want to hurt your neck. You always have to be looking up towards the sky. So just roll over to the side, and this is a knee block, so I'm not going to be able to use that, but you could stack them up. You could use a pillow to place under your sacrum. These are foam blocks, but I have cork blocks, and they are a little bit more sturdy. Finding what's going to work for you. I'll make my way down, and I can come to the middle height. So not the lowest, but the middle height. I place it underneath of my sacrum. I continue to look up towards the sky, finding the right spot for yourself. So you may have to adjust a little bit. And then let your pelvis sink in towards your block, your prop. If you don't have any of those props, you could use your hands. So you have your elbows down and you hold onto your hips. You lift your hips and you hold. In stillness, we close our eyes. It is also nice to place something between your knees to take pressure off of your lower back. So if you do have something handy, could be a pillow. So I can't look around when I do when I reach for my pillow. So if you wanted to do that, you could by coming out of the pose and then getting another prop. And holding my pillow between my knees, and again, it's taking pressure off of my lower back. help me to relax into this pose. 1 more minute. Coming out of supported bridge, taking your prop away, so underneath of the pelvis, lift your pelvis up, take your prop out, and putting your props over to the side. Okay. And you may roll over to the side and put your props away, whatever you need to do. And then come back down towards the ground and to your back. And from the beginning, when we were lying on our back and our knees were bent, doing a little just check in here to see what your pelvis is like. How is your lower back? How are your hip flexors? Did those few poses help to find that release? Our next pose, banana asana, and making the banana shape. So extend the right leg down towards the ground, the left leg down towards the ground. Walk your legs over towards the right corner of your mat. Oh, sorry, let's do the left corner. Sorry about that. Left corner of the mat, walk your legs over, and then your upper body, taking it over to the left corner. Now, so that we can stretch into the right side at first. And the stretch you'll feel is all along this right side of your body. Arms, they may come overhead. You can open up your arms so that your elbows will rest down to the ground, if you like it to do it that way, or holding onto the hands, or holding onto opposite elbows. See what's going to be the nicest for you, so you find that comfort, ease in this pose. Last part would be crossing your right ankle over your left ankle. If your right hip is lifting off the ground a lot, you can come out of this banana shape a little bit. With the inhale breath, open up through the rib cage. Inhale breath, opening up into any tight areas along the side of your leg, your pelvis. Inhale breath, breathing into your armpits. Coming out of banana pose. And crossing your ankles. Taking your arms back down the side of your body. And upper body coming back. Take your legs back, walk your legs back towards the center. Into the other side, take your left legs and take your legs to the right corner of your mat. I know you caught that. And then your upper body to the right corner of your mat. And arms, they may come overhead, but they don't have to though too. You can have them by your side. Now arms can be wide or holding onto your hands, holding onto opposite elbows. Cross your left ankle over the right ankle. Take notice of your left hip now. Is it coming right up? And if so, readjust your body. Now smile and breathe. Coming out of banana, release your ankles, uncross, release, so let go of your arms, coming down to the side, and our upper body coming back to the center, legs coming back to the center. Bending through the right knee, so slide your heel towards your bottom and then left heel slide towards the bottom. You may just lift your pelvis up and then down. We could do little pelvic tilts here. So tipping up, so your pubic bone lifts towards your chest and then coming down towards your heels. Pelvic tilt. Your pubic bone lifts towards the chest, and then pelvic tilt. So your pubic bone goes down towards your heels. And we lift up. And then back down, your pubic bone to the heels. One more time through, pubic bone lifting up. You're taking your lower back in towards the ground, and then pubic bone down towards the heels. And then release your pelvis. Take the right arm overhead, roll over to the right side of your body, and then coming up, I'm going to feel and come up. Turning towards the front of your mat, Just going to turn off one light so it won't be so bright. Here. And we have our pillows that we'll use, or blocks that you will use to place them under your pillows. And place them under your knees with your pillows. There we go. Okay, for butterfly, our feet are together and then our knees pressed. Nice big opening again into the pelvis. And this will help to release our lower back. Open up through our hips, pelvis. With an inhale breath, we lift. Exhale breath, fold forward and let the head hang. Sometimes it's nice to have that support for the forehead, your head, so you can have your elbows down and head resting into your palms of your hands. Or you can let the arms hang, turn your palms up towards the sky. And whatever you do, turn towards your breath to help you to get that release. Something really nice that I learned from my dance teacher was when you come into a fold. So when you're sitting up at first, you draw up. So nice scoop in of your abdomen, like scooping it in, and then you can come up and fold over. My dance teacher is 73 and she's still teaching. And I had a class with her today, and it's Zoom. That was really nice. Experience with her. Come to your breath. Notice your breath. Your exhale breath is longer than the inhale breath. Let your head hang. Are you able to fold a little bit deeper into the ground with the exhale breath? Inhale, feel your back opening up. Exhale, just let it go. With the next inhale breath, slowly make your way up. Once you're at the top, exhale and let go. Feel your body sinking in towards the earth. Taking one hand and the other hand behind your bottom. Take one knee and then the other knee up towards the sky. Extend both legs out straight. And give them a little shake, shake, shake. We sit up tall. Remove the fleshy part from your bottom. So you're on your sits bones. So you just open up, take one side and then the other side. And open up so you're at your sits bones. Coming into the next pose for caterpillar. I'm going to stack my pillows up for a little bit more support. Lifting up tall and fold forward. Let the forehead rest. So let's try that little something that I said before about lifting up. So think of it like zipping up through your pelvic floor muscles. So pull up and then scoop. You can do a little round and then lift up and fold. Head, forehead may rest onto your hands. That's comfortable. You could turn your cheek, resting onto your pillow, your bolster. Your pillows could be a little bit lower too, if you find you can get a little bit closer down to the ground, to the earth. See where you're at. This is a nice stretch that we have into our lower back, but to actually our back, but it's into those hamstrings that we are focusing on too, because with hamstrings that are quite tight, then it could help, it could cause any kind of pain into the lower back. So releasing hamstrings, so important to do. Releasing out of caterpillar. Slowly make your way back up. Take your props to the side. Bend through the knees and then take your knees behind you and feet behind you and then come over to all fours. And I'm just going to have my props over to the front here so that you can see me and give your tail a little wag. Next pose is dragon. Step forward with right hand and left hand into downward facing dog. Alternate knee bends. Come to stillness. You're on the ball of the feet. Three-legged dog. Take the right leg up towards the sky, bend through the knee and step out onto the outside of the right wrist. Big lunge, I need you to sink your pelvis down in towards the ground here. So drop it. We hold. You may take your knee down to the ground. Be fine. And I did show you the knee blocks that I had. So you can put a knee block down, or you could roll up a mat too, your yoga mat, just double it up. Or that leg, back leg straight, pelvis dropping down. So big opening into the front of our thigh, hip flexors. A little bit deeper of a stretch with coming down to your forearms and letting the head hang. Let your head hang if you were up too, so that you're on your hands. If this doesn't work for your wrists, you can make nice fists and then hold this way. We're also opening up through the outside of the right hip. Let go of the shoulders in this pose. Release, use your breath to help you. Always come back to your breath. Slowly coming out of dragon, you may come back to downward facing dog with me. Or you can come to all fours, so child's pose. And then into the other side. So in downward facing dog, you may come into it this way, or you can come in from all fours. Take your left leg up towards the sky for three-legged dog, and bend through the knee and step onto the outside of the left wrist. Hold here. Okay, find out what's going to work for you. You may take the knee down and then drop the pelvis in towards the ground. You can come onto your forearms here. Roll up your mat. I need to have my legs straight. The knees up. And drop the pelvis. You may feel just a nice big opening right here. Let your head go. Once you find more release, so if your forearms are not down to the ground, eventually you could find more release, and you can bring your forearms down to the ground. Soften your shoulders. Let the head hang. Making your way out of dragon. Come back to downward facing dog. And then to all fours. Into child's pose. Child's pose. Uncurl the toes, sit into the heels. Now you may do child's pose with your arms forward, or the arms may come by the side of the body. The palms turned up towards the sky, forehead resting. Forehead resting to help you feel grounded, nice round through our back. And let go. And breathe. Slowly coming up from child's pose. Fours, toes down. Again, little leg through your tail. Roll over to the side of the body and make your way down towards the ground. Towards your back. Supine. We hold. Crossing the right ankle over top of the left knee. Threading the needle, figure four. Wrap your hands around the left leg. Your foot off the floor and hold. Ah, fantastic. We have opening through our right side of our hip. Your left leg is just, you can dangle. Just come down towards the ground. You are present, you are conscious of how you are feeling. Consciously choosing to release by inhaling to those tight areas of tension, and exhaling, let go. Is your left leg dangling? Are your shoulders soft? Your exhale breath. Taking the left foot down to the ground and crossing your right ankle. And cross the left ankle over top the right knee. Wrap your hands around the right leg. Pick the foot off the floor. Again, hold. And that right leg, let it dangle. Now into the left side of the hip. We breathe into areas of tension. Exhale, letting it go. Coming out of threading the needle on this side, take the right foot down to the ground, then cross, take both knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. Back into cartwheel. Then take the right foot down to the ground, left foot down to the ground, and our third time checking in to see how our pelvis is on the ground here, or lower back, or hip flexors. Take the right foot out, you step out a little bit further, and then the hip, and then the left foot out. Windshield wiper, knees side to side. A little movement before we come into our final pose for Shavasana, pentacle, and back towards the center. Now you may have the knees bent and you can hold this. It's really nice to have a pillow, a bolster underneath of the knees. I'll show you what that will look like. You could have a blanket underneath of your knees too. We just roll it up. Blanket underneath the small of the back, but having it underneath your knees for that support to take pressure off lower back. And then you can open up your arms a little bit further away from the body with palms turned up towards the sky. You do it this way. You may have legs up the wall, or you may come into comfortable seated position for our meditation. Whatever you choose, find that you are comfortable, you are warm. Our eyes close. And our eye sockets feel heavy. Our lips are together, then they part. Feel your facial muscles soften. Imagine feeling the warmth of the sun all over your body. Helping you to relax and let go. We'll be in Shavasana for a few minutes. When it is time, I will call you back. Slowly making your way out of Shavasana by wiggling your toes and fingers. A little movement in your body. A little shift. Notice your breath. If you're lying down on the ground, you may bend through the knees if you haven't, if you are not there yet, and then take the right arm overhead, rolling over to your right side to fetal. And coming up to a comfortable seated position. You may have your knees, your hips higher than your knees, so your knees could be in front. Or you may be in easy pose. Placing your hands to your heart center, your right hand being the sun and your left hand being the moon, joining them together. Our shoulders are soft. Body is soft. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your practice. Namaste.